Let's get it. Hey everybody. Welcome back to another video on the channel. So before we get started, I'm going to start doing Sixers breakdowns every now and then again. So the one game I didn't really break down was the Sixers and the Lakers. Now, that was an interesting game to say the least. Before I dive into the rest of the video, so so this is what I saw. What was wrong, or like the negatives within the Sixers and the Lakers game. The first thing was the Sixers turnover issues. The fact that even though it was not bad, 11 turnovers, even though they averaged 16.3 turnovers per game. I mean, that still needs to be worked on a little bit, but now, how do you improve that? Well, you got to be more smart with the basketball, especially with even LA is as overrated as they are. They're very good, on both sides of the basketball. You also got to make sure you got to get good open looks, especially to your 3-point shooters like Seth Curry, Danny Green every now and again. Now, another thing is you got to have better ball control, like I mentioned, without good ball control, most times than not, there's going to be a lot of turnovers and just sloppy basketball. Now, another point that I'm bringing up that needs to be addressed is the foul trouble. They need to for example, when they have, especially with Dwight Howard. Let's get into talk to Dwight Howard for a little bit. He's nothing but a foul liability for the Sixers. Despite the fact he is a good player for a guy who's at age 36, but the fact that he is, causing, drawing a lot of fouls. Well, I'm not saying drawing a lot, but causing a lot of fouls. That hurts the Sixers a little bit. Now, can you make the argument sometimes it's bad officiating? Yeah, you could. But the fact is that they got, in the game against the Lakers, they racked up 24 total fouls as a team. That cannot happen. That really cannot happen. Now, the defense, like I said, needs to have better ball control, needs to be patient, especially in the half-court set. And that's the thing, that's what the Sixers need to really focus on. Patience, they have very little patience when it comes to the half court set. If they can, be a lot better in the half court set against good teams like the Lakers, for example, then yeah, we wouldn't even have that problem. They need they need to limit their foul total at in certain points of the game. Now, here's the big issue that us Sixers fans are kind of beating around the bush, basically. So, when Joel Embiid is off the court, they are 0-5 with him on. Well, yeah. Oh, actually, scratch that. They're 1-5 with him off the court, and that for some reason, there's something that needs to be said. Let's the way I see it. But when they have him on the floor, it's night and day with the record difference. They're 13-2 with him on the floor. Plus also another thing is with good teams, you gotta limit the 3-point shooting. It's something that needs to be talked to. Doc Rivers needs to say something to his players. Look, now even though you have Dwight Howard as Joel's backup, and you have Tony Bradley as his a second string center, or actually, I'm sorry, a third string center. If you can defend the 3-point shot, and tighten up the defense, I think we should be fine against good teams. Now we're going to go into the Western, their Western road trip. For example, they played the Sacramento Kings. They wind up winning that one night of a final score of 119 to 111. So the only players that haven't played or were DMPs for the Sixers were Tony Bradley, Terrence Ferguson, Isaiah Joe, which for some reason people are saying free Isaiah Joe, and I think they might have a point because Furkan kind of stinks. Tyrese Maxey didn't play that game, and Vincent Poirier. Now in that game, Danny Green was 2 for 2 from the free throw line. He was 0 for that's the thing too. He went 0 for 3 with 4 over 3 from the from 3 with 4, finished that game with 4 points. Tobias had 22 points. Now I think he should be an all-star because the way that he's playing, it looks like now he's like the Tobias Harris of old when he was with the Clippers when Doc Rivers was still there. This is what we're supposed to expect for a guy who has a max contract. Joel Embiid finished that game with 25 points and he was 13 from 4. And that's the thing too, there's, like I mentioned in my last video, if Joel Embiid is going to be the MVP, because like I said, it's going to be a close race with them. So, with that being said, he finished 25 points, 13 from 14 from the line, with 13 rebounds and 0 for 2 from 3. If he just takes at least less 3-point shots, and just stick to the paint, I think he's very dominant in the paint. And even though he's got good perimeter shooting, so there's really nothing negative. The only negative about him is the injury. It's for some reason the injury bug just won't leave him alone. That's pretty much a plain fact for most Sixers fans, somewhat complain about. Now, the only issue that I have with the Sixers, the guys start holding leads. In the first quarter, they outscored the Kings by 10. And then once the second quarter got along, the Kings outscored them in the second. And then once also when the third and the fourth quarter along, they outscored them. Third quarter, they scored 21. They scored 21 points in the third, and then 32 in the fourth. But still, almost blew a lead against the Kings. So at that time, they bumped the record to 18-7. Now we move on to the Phoenix Suns, which that's the team that gave us problems the last couple of years. Let's see. Danny Green finished with 10 points. He was 4 or 5 from the field, 2 or 3 from the 3-point line, with and just 4 rebounds. He's meh, but I don't think he's not going to be. I think you just move him to the bench because he's showing he can't catch up to the different defense. Tobias had 18 points with 4 rebounds, 4 for 4 from the line, 7 of 9 from the field, and almost 37 minutes of play. So Tobias. Look, say what you want about his contract. Yeah, you can make an argument we overpaid him, but now he's living up to that. Now he's averaging almost over 20 points per game, like he did in only one season and with the Clippers. And then Embiid had 35 with 9 of 10 from the line, 2 for 2 from 3, 12 from 23 from the field, with 4 rebounds, only a steal. I know he had 2 turnovers, but at least that's better. I'm not saying it's better to turn it over, but you gotta limit that at least to 0 to 2 turnovers. That's the huge fact right there. But they wind up losing to the Suns 111 to 120. Now, it's ridiculous. I know the Sixers always has been bad on the road. That's a given. That's pretty much just been the given. But the fact that is like, like even though they lose, but it's like close games. Like in the last few years, like under Brett Brown, like we've been getting outscored, losing by double digits, like every handful of games or so. Like it's different. Like it's not a bad, even though it's not a bad loss, but it's not as bad as it was like 3 or 4 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so and then we move on to this past game against the Utah Jazz, which they had the best record in the NBA with a 23-5 record at coming in. Or actually, no, I'm sorry, 22-5. But the Sixers wound up losing at 123 to 134. So they fell to 18-10 in the first 28 games of the season. So with Danny Green, as bad as he is, like he only finished with 1 of 6 from the field, one to 4 from the three, without finishing with 3 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist, and 1 turnover, with a plus minus of -10. And Tobias finished that game with 14 of 24, with 3 of 5 from the field, 5 of 5 from the line, with 10 rebounds, 2 assists, and 2 steals, and finished that game with 36 points, which is obviously a career high for him. Seth Curry, Mike's. There's really nothing you can say about Mike Scott. Like, see, that's the thing too. Like, I don't like Mike Scott as a Sixers fan. Same with Danny Green, because it's like they're heaving up too many threes. Like, like there's a couple guys like that. Like the only guy, there's a few pieces that the Sixers need to fix that bench, since now Shake Milton's probably going to be out again with that sprained ankle. But I digress. But Seth Curry, or actually no, I'm Seth Curry. Mike Scott only finished the game with 6 points, with 2 or 3 from the field, 2 or 2 from 3, with 1 rebound, and 2 turnovers. Now Seth Curry finished with 11 points, with 5 of 10 from the field, 1 of 4 from 3, with 2 rebounds, 1 assist, and 1 turnover and then Ben Simmons just pretty much went on it. Finished the game with 15 of 26 from the field, 12 of 13 from the line, with 9 rebounds, 12 assists, 1 steal, 4 turnovers. Needs some work, but he has 1 block with finishing with 42 points. But like I said, like turnovers, it's always been a big issue with the 76ers. And, especially with Western teams, like they need to fix that. And the fact that, they can't do that, that's going to be a little thing to work with. But with that being said, I hope if you like the content I'm putting out, so make sure you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button with the notification bell on, and leave your thoughts down in the comment section down below about what the Sixers have done, with the games that I talked about when I broke them down. So thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.